Emmett here with Soul Sports. I want to welcome you guys to what we're calling the Soul Sports Runners Spotlight. It's a way for us to interview people in which that we think have provided Soul Sports with a great experience, and also not only done that, but brought something to the running community and also brought something to the employees here at Soul Sports. So today I have a very special guest. Her name is Diane Potter, and she is here with me today, as you can see here. And we're going to interview her, and we're going to find out what exactly she is doing here. So, Diane.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Diane, if you don't mind, can you share your story with us? I know it, and it's very personal to me, but I want others to know this too.
Yeah. So I was very, very overweight. I was almost 300 pounds at my heaviest. I had been in a difficult marriage where I had turned to food for comfort for a long time. And then I went through a really horrible divorce, and I was just at the lowest point in my life. It was very dark days, and some days I'm just not even sure how I made it through. And so one night I was laying in bed, and my kids were, in the room next to me, and my heart was beating so hard it felt like it was going to beat out of my chest. And I thought, gosh, this isn't right, because I'm laying here at rest. My heart should not be working this hard. So I don't know, it was the aha moment that I needed, where something within me just clicked and said, you can't let these girls come in here and find you dead.
Yeah, sure.
So I decided right then and there to, I put myself on a diet where I ate just smaller portions, and I cut out all the junk food and the sugar. And that's where I started first. I lost about 60 pounds before I even started running. And so then I plateaued, and I thought, God, I should probably exercise to get through this plateau. And I'd always thought that running seemed like the most difficult thing in the world to do. Why would people want to do this? It just, it looked horrible to me, but I hated going to the gym too. So I just started walking, and then I thought, maybe I can run. And so I just did, 30 seconds of running, maybe a couple minutes of walking, and before I know it, I was running for 30 minutes straight. And it was just the coolest feeling, because I felt this huge sense of accomplishment, and I had come from such a dark place, and it was so uplifting to be proud of myself and have confidence that I could do something and that I was good at it.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you would take away that you would say how you might do something different?
I would say that my main takeaway would be don't do too much too soon, because I got so excited about running that that's exactly what I did. I did a full marathon, and then a few days later I paced a friend of mine on a 20-mile loop of a 100-miler she was doing, and I got a stress fracture in my foot.
Yeah.
So, and then it, kind of took me out of the game for a few months, and I had to wear a boot and all that. So I would say just a little bit at a time, really stick to a 10% mileage increase a week.
Oh yes, I love that you know these
Yes.
things. That is amazing. So Dan, tell us your next big goal.
Well, I've done 2 full marathons. I'd like to do a third just to prove that it wasn't a fluke. So the one I want to do is called the Mother Road Marathon.
Okay.
And it goes on Route 66. I'm a huge Route 66 nut. So it starts in Oklahoma, and you run through Kansas, and you end in Missouri. So it's a 3-state marathon.
That's pretty legit. That's going to be impressive.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Once again, impressing. Do you have a favorite running story? I mean, everybody has something, or that we can share, of course. There's always great nuggets when you're on a group run.
Yeah. Probably my favorite running story was when I met this other runner here named Jim. And it was my first time running with him. And I usually just ran by myself,
Sure.
And this was the first time I ever actually ran with somebody, which kind of intimidated me. But he just ran up to me, never met him before, and he starts telling me about how there was a murder at this apartment complex over here, and it was just like no filter, but I loved it. And it just made it fun, and I realized that, hey, I can run with people, and when I talk to people, it takes my mind off of what I'm doing, and it makes it a lot much more fun, So.
Yeah, we actually hire him to do like tours of
Yeah,
what's going on in the
Scottsdale
valley. Yeah, we
tours.
ask them to do nothing but negative stuff to kind of show that our city is really big and real.
He'll tell you a lot about Chicago too.
That is true.
Yeah.
Can you tell us anything about the Arizona running community now that you're such a big part of it? And
I can't say enough great things about the running community
Sure.
here. It's a family. It's, these people, I've made friends, and it's become more than just my friends, it's my family. And these are people that have become some of my best friends who I could call and ask them for anything and they would help me out. And I just can't even imagine my life without those people in it now. It's just been amazing.
yeah, doing long runs, you have a tendency to open up to people.
Yeah.
And you're out there and
Yep.
you feel comfortable with people
Mhm.
because you're real.
Mhm.
People don't come in with makeup. People just roll out of bed, and
Yeah,
that's
it doesn't
a real
matter
person.
where you work or what you do, and it doesn't
Right.
matter what kind of car you drive or
or-
where you live. It's just
Exactly.
running is the great equalizer.
Do you have a favorite place in the valley to run now?
Of course, here. I love coming out here.
She's
on-
not paid to say that, by the way.
No, but I do love to come out here on Saturday mornings and run the canal, especially when I'm training for a longer event.
Yeah. This is a big one, and it is. Would you give what's the kind of advice would you give to somebody who's probably watching this and it's like, that person is just more motivated, or that person just can do it. I can't do it.
I mean, if I can do it, anyone really can. I mean, I weighed almost 300 pounds at my heaviest. I have never, ever been athletic in my life. Never played on any teams in high school or anything like that. And, it was just very scary to be such a heavy person and start trying to run and doing something athletic. I felt embarrassed. I would only run at night because I was embarrassed of what other people would think of me. Like, oh, there's a big fat lady running down the street.
Sure.
And, as I ran, I started to lose more and more weight. And, I think that new runners start out by walking, don't take on too much at once, work up to running, and then definitely look into group runs at your local running store like Soul Sports, because this is where you're going to find that inspiration to really keep going, and this is where you're going to find your support system.
The other thing is, you have two beautiful daughters and a full-time job.
Yeah.
And truth be told, we all have a lot of things going on in our lives, and we have great excuses of why we don't do things, but you seem to find a way to do all of that.
Yeah, and I just run 3 days a week. I'm not out there every day or anything like that. I run 3 days a week. I found anything more than that, I start to get burnt out. So, I run as soon as I get home from work. I knock out 4 or 5 miles 2 times a week during the week, and then I come here on the weekends, and it depends on what I'm training for, but I just make it a priority to come out here and see my friends. They kind of hold me accountable. And then I just know that once I get started out there's no turning back, so I got to get the work done.
Yeah. Well, tell us, do you have a non-running hobby?
Probably just being a mom.
Yeah. Speaking of which, what do your daughters think about when you started and where you are now?
Yeah, I mean, my daughters just love it that I've lost the weight. My 11-year-old, she'll come up to me and hug me and she'll say, "Mom, my arms only used to go around you this much, and now they go around you this much." And it's
very
definitely,
emotional,
yeah, very emotional.
Yeah, don't make me cry. Not on camera. Like, since you started here, what was your first? Was it a 5K or was it a few miles? Was it a walk run? What was your first experience here for the first? What was your goal, I should say?
I had run a 5K. I had just started running like 3 months prior, I think, and I had run a 5K. And so I came here with the goal of doing a 10K. And I think my first time here I did 5 miles, and I was so excited.
Absolutely.
It's the hardest I've ever run.
Right.
And I mean, so I did my 10K, and then I started thinking about a half marathon. I can do a half marathon. So then I came out here, every weekend and trained for that, and then eventually I did a full marathon. So
Yeah. Did you find yourself overwhelmed at any point during your training, or were you just on such a high of meeting so many new people and the support that you had?
I mean, there were some times where I felt kind of low. Like, I remember being here after a 17-miler training for my full marathon, and you were in the back, and I came in there and I started crying. It was just like, I don't know that I can do this. And you're like, it's okay, you're so calm. It's okay, you can do it. it's just, you know, it's just a hard run. And, you know, it's just been with the support of everybody who works here and all my friends that come here, that it's just been like family, and it's what's given me the motivation to keep going.
Yeah. If anybody can do anything, it's Diane Fox. So, Diane, thank you so much for coming out. I really do appreciate it. And mind if I give you a hug? All right, you guys. Thank you. Next time we'll have a different person. I don't know if we're going to top this one, but